Thursday evening. My name is Barb Mullican, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I go by the hashtag or the tagline barbstamps.com or Stampin' is my job. I'm very excited to be here with you guys tonight. So it must be, since it's Thursday, that means it's five, let's see, 4 Pacific, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I have some cute projects. One of them is a little different. I was trying to come up with something, and I really wanted to use a specific product. And so I had to like base everything around that. And it's interesting. And you guys might not think that it's interesting. Anyways, you'll see it soon. So that's pretty exciting. I hope everyone's having a fantastic week. I see from some of the comments that it's kind of snowy and cold in some areas. We're supposed to get some snow here tonight, and we're supposed to have a lot of wind. So even if you only have 1 or 2 inches of snow and you have 45-mile-an-hour winds, whoa, that's a problem. And so looking forward to that. But thankfully, I work from home, so I don't ever have to go anywhere. Well, I mean, I have to go to the store sometimes because my family does require food. But other than that, I don't have to drive to my job. So that is a big blessing to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and be able to work from home and not have to brave, crappy weather. Such as we're probably going to be having in the morning. So yeah, so let me just check the comments, see where everybody's from. We've got some, oh boy, there's a lot of you guys on here. Yay, that's exciting. Thank you guys so much. If you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up and sharing it, that would really make me happy. And I love it when you guys make comments too, because I am happy to answer your comments and questions. I love interacting with you guys. It's a lot of fun for me. And I feel like I have a piece of hair hanging in my face. I did. Okay. And speaking of hair, I know you guys are here for stamping, but I'm also going to share a little bit of a beauty hack with you because a lot of you guys are new to my channel. Maybe you haven't watched me before. Maybe you've only started watching me in the last month or two or something like that. And so I have a kind of a beauty tip. So not only will you get your stamping tips from me, you might get a beauty tip here or there. And I know it's hard to believe that I'd be offering you a beauty tip because I really don't wear makeup. I literally don't do anything with my hair, but you're going to laugh. If you haven't already seen this tip from me, you're going to chuckle. So anyways, I want to wait till there's a few more people on here so I can share it with the masses, as they say. All right, who do we have on here? We have Cheryl and Snowy Mom. That's a fantastic name, by the way. We have Barbara. Oh my gosh, Barbara. That is the most amazing name ever. You have got the most amazing name. Congratulations on that. We've got Laura and Tony. Oh, Laura's my team member. Hi, Laura. Speaking of team members, did you guys know that celebration is the best time to join Stampin' Up? And especially this celebration because you get 2 free stamp sets of your choice out of either one of our catalogs, not counting stamp or host sets and not celebration sets, but any other stamp sets. And they can be the most expensive stamp sets in the catalog if that's what you desire to get. So anyways, you should join my team if you're interested, because if you're buying Stampin' Up! Product and you're not a demonstrator, there's really no reason why you shouldn't be, because you're paying too much then. That's just my simple theory on that. Anywho, who else do we have? We have Sonia and Bonnie and Tony and oh my gosh, Cindy, Betty, Jean, Debbie, Nancy, Jane, Jessica. Oh my gosh, Jane is from Australia. Oh, it's hot and humid, she says. Boy, about right now, Jane, I would trade you. Joyanne and Pat and Nancy and Trish, Darlene, Mary, Susan, Angie, who's in Texas and says that's a beautiful 75 degrees there today. Wow, that would be amazing. 75 to me is like the perfect temperature. And now, obviously, in some parts of the country, 75, if there's a lot of humidity, that would probably be brutal. But in Wyoming, it's pretty dry here, so we don't have a lot of humidity. So 75 is like the perfect temperature here, but we don't get that very often. We go from like this crazy kind of winter where we have winter that's 40 below, and then the next week it's 40 degrees above zero, and then now it's going to snow and it's going to be really windy, and the next week it might be 30, and then it might be 50, and then we don't usually get a lot of really nice like 75-ish days even in the spring or in the fall. It's just getting a little crazy around here, so I'm envious of you. And Darlene, Victoria, and Cheryl. So gosh, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it so much. And as you guys know, all your comments and thumbs up and subscriptions to my channel help me out so very, very much. And I appreciate that. a lot. It really helps grow my channel. I'm coming up on 13,000 subscribers. And so if any of you would like to subscribe, I believe it's right down here in the corner is a little subscribe button. And then there's a little notification bell that you can click also to be notified when I upload a video or when I'm going live. So if you are subscribed but haven't hit the bell, definitely hit the bell. If you haven't done either, then do both. And then leave some comments while we're stamping. And typically when I do my stamping with you guys, it's like my projects are prepared, but there's always a little bit of room for changing it. And sometimes I do ask for you guys' opinion because we're all stampers and I'm not the, I mean, I'm a professional, but I mean, I'm not the tell-all for stamping. You know, I don't have every bit of information that there is. And I'm not super, what's the right word? Like artsy. Like I never was an artist kind of person. I could barely draw a stick man. So when I was first introduced to Stampin' Up, it was like a light bulb went off and it was amazing to me because it was like all the artsy part of it was already done. Like the stamps were already designed, the designer series paper was already there. I could take my color combinations from the designer series paper. So all of that makes me look more professional. So there you go. Okay, so we have 83 people on here. I think it's time to share my beauty tip. So those of you that may be of a certain age, myself, and now some of you are older, some of you are younger, but many of you may have gray hair. Now, if you embrace your gray hair and you are gray, you should do that. You should absolutely do that. I don't want to have gray hair. It's unfortunate because I do, and I have to get my hair colored frequently to stop the gray hair. So I go every 6 weeks. I should probably go every 5, not gonna lie, but it's expensive. So I go every 6, and after about 2.5, 3 weeks, so it's been about 2.5, 3 weeks since I had my hair colored, I start to get the grow out. You guys can probably see a little bit. And I'm also losing my hair, as we talked about last week. The COVID killer on my hair is here. And so I'm losing a lot of hair. So I do have some lighter spots. Anyway, my gray hair starts to grow out. And my hair is cut in such a way that if I'm stamping and working and I'm facing my head down, it falls into my face. So I clip it back quite frequently. But then you have that nice gray hairline. Here's how you can get rid of it. An ink pad. And yes, this is, oh, Bonnie wants to know where the tiny hands are. Good question, Bonnie. Let's get some tiny hands. And my tiny hand is a married tiny hand. For those of you that have never seen my tiny hands before, my tiny hands are female and married. I did make this little ring for my tiny hand. I have not used tiny hands for a hot minute. Okay, so I do have some gray growing out here, as you can see. And if you have an ink pad, this is chocolate chip. This is a retired color, but this is the color that I've been using forever. And I have some refills. I could easily use early espresso. It would not be a problem. So what do I do with my chocolate chip ink pad, you may ask? I take a sponge dauber. And I actually tap it into my pad and I put it on my hairline. The ink is a dye-based ink. It is scrapbook. It's like scrapbook friendly. I could lick this and I would not die. So I'm not putting like a horrible chemical onto my head, onto my skin. But yeah, I do that all the time. I did it just before I went live and I'm going to do it again. And that literally will help you get rid of your grow out of your gray if it is something you are concerned about. I am concerned about that. I don't want that to be happening to me. So that's a beauty hack. That's a beauty tip for you. So you're welcome. And yeah, be sure to share this with your friends because, you know, we all have the same struggles with the gray hair. Those of us that don't want to have gray hair. And like I said, if you have your gray hair, you should embrace it. And I keep thinking about going gray just because a lot of people I see with gray hair, it's beautiful. I love the kind of salt and peppery gray hair. It's amazing. I'm just not sure that it's for me right now. So anyway, yeah, I know I'm a beauty channel and a stamping channel. You're welcome. So let's see if any of you have any questions about that. Um, uh, Ellie says she colors her hair every 3 weeks. Jean says, you first timers that are watching me are going to love me because I'm an amazing stamper teacher. Oh my gosh, Jean, you are so sweet. Thank you so much. That was really nice of you. Okay. Michelle Schmidt says she uses Sahara sand. Yes, you can use a variety of our colors. You could even like mix the chocolate and the early espresso and cherry cobbler if you kind of have a reddish tint to your hair. So, yeah, a sponge dauber costs about what, $1, 75 cents. I can't remember exactly how much they cost, but they're super cheap. That ink pad that I have is dedicated to my hair. I don't stamp with that. I never did. I always had a dedicated pad because you have oils and skin and whatever. You don't want to get that in your pad. So, and then you do need to change out your sponge dauber every so often because it gets full of oils and skin, and that's probably TMI. I apologize, but you do need to change out your sponge dauber every once in a while because it'll get yucky, and that's just bleh. So anyways, oh, Darlene says it's her first time and she loves me already. Oh my gosh, you guys are like the sweetest people ever. I'm going to go live every single day just to boost my ego. I feel like my head is just like it's getting too big for the camera. So it's like it's a gigantic head. So thanks, you guys. You're awfully sweet. Okay. Enough about the beauty tips. And Nancy, I know I keep thinking about it. Now, I don't foresee myself doing it anytime soon, but I do think about just letting it go. But then I can't. It is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to flip my camera now, and we got a few little things to discuss because there's some stuff going on. And we're going to try to do this smoothly. You guys that watch me a lot know that this is never a very smooth transition because my dumb phone is old and it needs to be replaced. And when I try to tap, there it goes. When I tap the button to switch the, from the front facing camera to the rear facing camera, it doesn't always want to do it. It just gives me fits all the time. And I'm just, ugh. Okay, now I have to fix this again because now it's off kilter. Why is everything so hard? I just don't get it. Okay. I think that's going to have to be fairly good. Oh my gosh, I know what the problem is. I have my pop socket on. Hold on, you guys. I am going to take my pop socket off. And we're going to do this again. Because pop sockets are a problem. They make your phone not level. And I am kind of a psycho about my phone being level in the holder because I feel like it gives you a better viewing experience. Oh, here's my pop socket if anybody wanted to look at it. Isn't it adorable? It's a llama. Okay, so let's put this away. Let me get my glasses on so I can see what's going on. Won't take dye. I'd have to use a couple bottles of reinker. Mary, that's funny. Mary is a fellow Wyomingite, you guys. She is in Casper, Wyoming. So hello, Mary. Okay, guys. The first thing I want to talk about is we have a new kit from our kits collection. And this is so cute. And I can't remember what it's called now. And I just got it yesterday, so I haven't even opened the thing up. It comes with a Coastal Cabana ink spot, a stamp set for birthdays, a clear block. This is one of the sets because it has stamps. It comes with the block. Let me get the kit out here. Ooh, that was like super loud and annoying. My apologies. And look at this adorable thing. This particular kit is only $19. You can get it in my online store. Everything about ordering from me is in the description box. So you get your block, stamps, ink, some little embellishments. We're going to get some envelopes with, look at that, liners. Oh my gosh, this kit is so cute. Look at these pieces. They have glittery, it's almost like embossing. I don't think it is, but it's almost like glittery embossing. And then check this out. You put dimensionals on this layer here, and then you stick it on, and look how cute that is. And then it's kind of popped up a little bit. And what you could even do if you wanted to, you could take some of our adhesive strips and you could line the whole thing, and you could put like a window sheet behind there, and you could make a shaker card out of it too. So, oh my gosh, so cute. All right, so we have the cakes. And then what do we have for this one here? Here's some more glittery almost like I said, embossing. Oh, candles. Oh my gosh, look how cute that is. Oh my gosh. This kit, I mean, I don't normally order the kits all the time because, you know, I'm a stamper and I can make things pretty quickly. But I did buy this, and I'm going to take an evening this week, I'm hoping, and put these all together while I'm watching TV with my husband, because this is adorable. And then look at these printed cards. Oh my gosh. Got some banner pieces here, some other little things. Ooh, they do. Oh, look at that. It even comes with strips. I didn't even know that. You don't even have, it comes with the strips to pop those things up. Oh my gosh, this is a good deal. This is a really good deal. So you get all this stuff for $19. That's a really good deal. And then you have the full color instructions showing you how to put it together. Plus on the front, it shows you the completed cards. So, oh my gosh, yeah, this is amazing. I'm honestly surprised it hasn't sold out yet, because a lot of times, oh, when it comes, oh, that's mine. A lot of times these things do sell out pretty quickly. So I'm kind of surprised it hasn't yet. Okay. Move my scissors, bring these in. A lot of you guys are members of our new catalog kickoff party. As you know, if you are a basic or premium member of Stamp Happy Academy, which is our collaborative website that Dina Kelly and I do together, you can find that at stamphappyacademy.ning.com. And then we have a Facebook group that we are doing our catalog kickoff in, and I've already done my live, so I have created 6 cards. 3 of them are part of our make and take packet. Each of us are doing 3 for the make and take packet and 3 or so other cards for your inspiration. We've given away 3 bundles so far. We've given away, I think, an embossing folder, some ribbon, embellishments. We've got more prizes to go. Oh, plus we've got 2 card challenges, mystery stamping. Those are all getting the Camellia host set from Celebration. I mean, we've just got so many things going on. We're going to have game night coming up, I think, tomorrow night. Now, I don't know exactly what our game night's going to be. We haven't figured that out yet, but it'll be fun. It always is. So anyway, if you're a basic or premium member of Stamp Happy Academy, you can get into this for free. If you are one of my team members, or Dina or Kelly's team members in levels 1 through 3, you also get in for free. If you are neither of those things, you can pay $10 and get in. And now I can't remember if I took that link out of my description. If I took it out, I'll put it back in. Anyway, so we're doing make and takes, and the make and take link is in the description of this video. It's 9 projects. You'll get pre-cut cardstock for all 9. You'll get a little supply kit that's worth over $30, and the shipping's included for $48. And then you can add on the extras if you so desire that we are using. So anyway, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is my kit class for the month of January, and I have to tell you that this bundle has become my absolute favorite bundle in the catalog right now. I have been having so much fun with this. This was my kind of kickoff card for my class. I do have my video on YouTube here showing you how to create this if you so desire to learn. After we're done here tonight, you can click on my YouTube channel and go to all my videos, and you'll find this. And I did want to give you a little sneaky peeky at a couple of the other cards that are in the class, because whoa, they're amazing. Here's one of them. That's a little sneak peek. Plus, in this class, you make 4 each, or 2 each of 4 designs. So you make a total of 8 cards. They all come with envelopes. You get all the pre-cut cardstock pieces to do it, except things that need to be die cut. You do have to do that yourself. And then this particular month, we are also doing a boxed set of note cards. Look at those. So, oh my gosh, I am telling you, this bundle has become my ultimate favorite right now. And I've got a cute card for you guys today using it. So if you're interested in my class, the links are in the description of this video. The kit itself is $45. If you want to add the bundle, it's $111.25. And I would love that if you would purchase that from me. So there you go. My online class for the month that I do with Kelly and Dina is the Slimline Slim Sayings class. This is those cards that are like business envelope size. So we're going to have 6 of those and 3 normal sized cards. And the kit for that is $47.50. Everything that you would need to create the cards would be $130. Or if you're just like the online only version, maybe you're not in this country, but you want the class to make yourself, $20. Now, all of these classes that we do are on Stamp Happy Academy. So the PDF files for all these classes are on Stamp Happy Academy, and the basic members and premium members have access to that. I also have a few iconic Sunny Sentiments classes left, a couple in our Borders in Bloom. Our Stamp Happy Academy open house was last weekend. If you put Stamp Happy Academy in the search line on Facebook and you see a picture of 3 adorable girls eating ice cream, that's us. We're not really girls, but 3 girls eating ice cream. That's the group. You can check that out. And there are 3 videos on that page telling you all about Stamp Happy Academy and why you should be a member, because you absolutely should. And if you look through the comments right now, you'll see a lot of the gals that are with us on Stamp Happy Academy telling you how awesome it is, because it is. The basic membership is $19.95, premium $34.95, live only $20. Premium is a combination of both of these, and you would save $5. All right. Adhesive kits. I do sell adhesive kits. They are in these cute little pouches, multiple colors. They are $45 unless you come on to one of my classes, and then they're only $40. So there you go. Yep, Shanna's here telling you that Stamp Happy Academy is amazing. Shanna is one of my team members, but she just recently subscribed to our live only. So she is going to be amazed at the content that she is going to find on that website with a live only subscription. So that's awesome. Okay, let's start doing some stamping. We've talked beauty, we've talked about everything that's going on, and now it's time to stamp. Oh, someone else is telling us, Linda is also telling you how amazing Stamp Happy Academy is. All right. Thank you guys for the Stamp Happy Academy shout out. I do appreciate that. We are going to make a card that uses this adorable Sweet Talk Designer Series paper, but it's not a Valentine's Day card, okay? Because sometimes you don't want to make a Valentine's Day card. Maybe you don't have anyone to send a Valentine's Day card to, but you don't need to have people send them to, because you can send cards with Valentine paper to literally anyone. So that's what we're going to do here. We are also going to be bringing in, we're going to be using one of the hearts out of the Sweet Conversations stamp set. This is also sold as a bundle with the Sweet Hearts dies. Those of you that may not really understand Stampin' Up! In their bundles, a bundle is a stamp set and either a set of dies or a punch. And when you buy the 2 things together, they are sold to you at a 10% discount. You can get just the stamps, you can get just the dies, but if you want them both, buy them in a bundle and save yourself 10%. So we are going to be using that. We're also going to be using the Slim Sayings stamp set that goes with the, the tall cards. I love this set because it's got gigantic fonts. And so a lot of times when you have a gigantic font, you can just put that on a label of some sort on a piece of Designer Series paper on a card base, you're done. You can literally make 100 cards in a few hours doing that. So I do enjoy a large saying stamp set for that purpose. But this one isn't too huge. And this is what we're going to say. We're going to say, you really are fabulous. Happy birthday. But we're going to use Valentine paper. Who would have thought? All right. So I've chosen this paper because it's got the Highland Heather and the Blushing Bride and the red. So, I mean, it could be Valentine. It doesn't have to be Valentine. Want to see any comments here? La, 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 la. Nope, I think we're good. You guys haven't needed me for anything. You're just talking amongst yourselves. That's perfect. Okay, so what we have here is a piece of cardstock. This is real red, and this measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's kind of like a standard size card, but it's not folded. It's just one layer. Then I also have a 5 1/4 by 6 1/4 piece of Highland Heather. See, I have my little cheaty note on there, and I'm going to score that at, what did my cheat note say? 2 1/4. So here's my trimmer, and we are going to slide this over to, so this is the long edge that I have at the top of my trimmer, and I'm sliding that into the 2 1/4 inch mark. And then I'm going to close that, and I'm going to score that. Now you may notice on my trimmer that you might not notice on everyone's trimmer, I have a piece of paper underneath my my ruler on this side. That's because I can't see through the ruler without that piece of paper there. It's very difficult. I struggle seeing anyway sometimes. And so all I did was I took a skinny strip of very vanilla cardstock. It's about 1/4 inch. I think it's 11 inches long. So it doesn't go quite to the end, but it's good enough. And I stuck it on there with mini glue dots. If you look really closely, you can see a mini glue dot like every 3 inches or so. And that just helps me see through my ruler. And it's made it so much easier for me to use this edge when you sometimes have to use this side if you're doing cutouts of the middle or something like that. It's just very helpful. So that might be a tip that you are not aware of that I'm happy to share with you. Okay, so we've scored that at 2 1/4. So now we're going to fold that over. And now this layer is going to measure 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. And it's going to layer right on. Oh my gosh, no it doesn't. What did I do wrong? Obviously I cut it wrong. Start again, Barb. Okay, so what is this? Oh, that's the problem. Okay, let's back up. This is wrong. This is 5 1/4. This should be 5 1/4 by 6, not 6 1/4. So we're going to scribble that off. We're still going to score it at 2 1/4, but now we need to cut off 1/4 inch. So we're going to bring this back in. We're going to line it up to 6, and we're going to cut that off. Is that right? 2 1/4 and 6. Math is so hard right now. Let me think. Did I actually, maybe I didn't cut it right. Maybe I didn't cut it to 6 1/4. Oh my gosh. There are days, I'm telling you, when I literally have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, you know what? I cut it at 6 1/2. That's the problem. I need to cut it at 6 1/4. Okay. So my original measurement was correct. So if I was doing this video not live, I would edit all that out. So it actually was 5 1/4 by 6 1/4, scored at 2 1/4. Okay. So I was right. I just don't know how to operate a cutter. So that was the problem. Okay. So now it fits. That's what I was looking for. All right. Let me get these things out of the way. Oh no, hold on. I just dropped my scoring blade. We can't have that because I need that. Okay. Then I have a piece of designer series paper. This is out of that cute paper, and I believe it's 2 by 5 1/4, and I was correct. Then I have a little square of white that's 2 1/4 inches, and then this I believe is 2 3/4. Yes, and this is Blushing Bride. So we've got 2 1/2 square white, 2 3/4 square Blushing Bride, 5 1/4, 6 1/4, scored at 2 1/4 Highland Heather, 4 1/4, 5 1/2 Real Red. That's my final answer. Okay. So what I need to do is add my designer series paper to the front here, and my seal is just about out. And so I am going to probably need to replace this. Well, maybe. I've said that before and it hasn't always happened, so who knows? It seems logical that I'll need to replace it, but it might not. Okay, so this is going to go to edge, and then I'm going to center it from the top to the bottom. Okay. There we go. We have Shirley joining us. Hello, Shirley. Thank you so much for being here. Again, if you guys wouldn't mind giving my video a thumbs up, I would be really happy. If you would do that for me, it helps me out a lot. All right, so now I'm going to add this to my layer of red. And I do use my seal quite a bit. I have finally figured out how to use it. And that might actually be a tip to share. So let me get this glued on here, and I will share with you what I do to make my seal work. I learned this tip from a UK demonstrator named Beck. And I'll just find a scrap here. What she said to do was a very light pressure. So I have my index finger on the top of my runner, and I'm going to stick it onto my paper, and I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure. You can see the tape's coming out. And then when I'm done, I'm just going to tip it forward and pull it off. So here we go again. I'm just dragging it along my paper. I'm tipping it forward and pulling it off. And that works really well. So maybe you have seen that tip before. Maybe you have not. If you have not, then you're welcome. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of these little sticky notes. And we are going to bring in the heart image. Well, I hope that will work for you, Shanna. It was a game changer for me because I had struggled using even Fast Fuse before when we sold that. And then the seal also. And then I saw that little kind of video by Beck, and I was like, wow. And I tried it, and holy cow. it was like the light bulb went off for that too, and I could actually use the seal and enjoy it, and I do like using it a lot. Okay, so I've got the "You really are fabulous" sentiment, and I am going to stamp that kind of towards the bottom of this layer, not all the way at the bottom, but kind of at the bottom. And then, oh, I need to stamp it this. I need that on the inside too. Hold on. I also have my Real Red and that heart image that I pulled out of the set. Let's see. Snowy Mom says, I have a lot of trouble with the seal. I use liquid glue mostly. And I use both now. I used to only use liquid glue, but then when I got the seal, I do really like it. So after I learned that tip, I've been using it a lot more. So I'm really enjoying it. And there is my heart. It's designed to look like that. So you might be thinking, oh my gosh, she didn't get it inked up all the way. No, you can see it's designed to have a bit of a shadow on it. And there it is. All right, so I'm done with the red. And as I showed you earlier from the Slim Sayings stamp set, I'm also going to be using the Long Happy Birthday. And I'm going to put that on the inside of the card. So let's ink this up in the Highland Heather. It's a longer stamp, so I'm trying to make sure I'm getting it all inky. And I want to make sure that obviously this comes down 2 1/4 inches. So I want to make sure that when I put my image in there, that it's not below that being closed. Does that make sense? I mean, it makes sense to me, but I'm the one making the card. So, all right, I'm trying to center this from side to side. And there we go. It might be a tiny bit crooked, but you know what? I did my best. Okay. All right, so then we are going to add these 2 layers together. Our little sentiment piece here and our Blushing Brides. This is actually a very simple card. This is kind of in a sense, I guess it's kind of a fun fold. All right, so when I stick this on here, I want to make sure that I don't put any adhesive down where it's not going to, you can see I don't want any adhesive right here because that's obviously not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use dimensionals, and I'm going to put a couple at the bottom of this layer here. Okay, and then I'm going to put a couple at the top of this layer here. What's the top right here? So I'll put a couple here and a couple there. And then when I take the backings off and add this, then it's perfect. It's not going to be hanging off where it shouldn't be. There's not going to be adhesive where I don't want it. It should just work perfectly. Okay, so there we have it. Perfect. Okay, so now as I've been using this bundle of products, which I have been using it a bit since it's getting to be Valentine's Day, I have a lot of die cuts from it. And so I actually wanted to pull out some of these. I call them heart chains. I don't really know what they're called. That's what I'm calling them. You could call them whatever. But I think these little heart chains are so cute. They are actually dies in the set. You can see there's a set of 5 right there. And when you cut the chain, you actually get, the little inside hearts also. Well, I used my purple ones for something else, but I was left with the chains. And I kind of thought that it might be cute just to stick it at the bottom here, the same color on there. So now if I had known in advance what I was going to do with this, I would have used some adhesive sheets, but I didn't know, so I didn't. But I'm pretty good with liquid glue. As you'll notice, you can see I am barely putting any liquid glue on this, so that when I actually stick it onto my paper, since there's not a ton of glue on here, I'm pretty confident that it's not going to squish out all over the place and make a mess. That is what I find people have the biggest issue with liquid glue, is they put too much on and then it makes a mess. So if you're just very careful with putting the glue on to begin with, then you shouldn't have any issues with it. There we go. And you notice the glue didn't snip out. It's all over my hands, but I'm just rubbing my hands together off camera and getting all those glue bits on the floor. Okay, so I think that's kind of a fun little detail to add to that card, don't you guys? And then I wanted to use some of our new polished dots, but it's not the right color. The polished dots are either clear or petal pink, and my card is not petal pink. It is Blushing Bride. So I need to make my polished dot red is what I want to do with it. So I've got my Real Red Stampin' Blend marker here. And I am going to, I've already colored one because I wanted to see how it worked. It works good. The color doesn't come off. And I'm just going to color a couple more of these. So I'll have 3 of them. What happens if I make this one a little bit darker? It doesn't seem to get any darker, which is fine. And then I want a big one. So I am going to come down here and I'm using the bullet tip of my marker. I don't want to smash the brush end of my marker by doing this, and the bullet tip holds up pretty well. So I'm just doing that. We'll add a little more, add a little more. Let them dry just a tiny little bit, and maybe while they're drying, I'll clean my stamps off. So when I put them away, they won't be messy. And if you guys aren't aware, Stampin' Up! Sells this thing called the, what is it called? Simply Chamois. I just call it a chamois. But it's amazing. And after we came out with it a number of years ago, and I was a bit skeptical because I had been using our Stampin' Scrub for a really long time. But I have to tell you, this is my favorite way to clean my stamps. Aside from if I have Stays On, then I use Stays On cleaner. But I don't use Stays On very often. And this thing looks like it's filthy. It's not. It's just stained. And I just cleaned it before we went live here. And all I do is rinse it under the sink. So I turn my hot water on. And of course, you know, as in most houses, it takes a little while for the water to get hot. So while it's cold and I'm wringing it out, the blues and the greens are kind of coming out of it. And then as the water gets warmer, then the reds and pinks start to come out. And that's when I know it's completely clean. And then I wring most of the water out. I do leave a little bit. As you can tell, there's a little bit of condensation in here. I have never had this mold, and I have left it in these cases for, you know, a week or longer before I've touched them. I've never had them go moldy. So this is one of my most favorite tools that Stampin' Up! Sells. And I actually have 2 of them on my stamp table at all times. And I keep them in our plastic stamp cases, and it's my favorite thing. One of my favorite things. I have a lot of favorite things. Another one of my favorite things is the Take Your Pick tool. So many favorites. Bone folder, liquid glue, seal, all that stuff. So my Take Your Pick tool, I'm going to use to pick off these little goodies here. And I'm going to place them on my card where I don't know yet. I kind of feel like I need to put at least one here on my sentiment layer, which actually I might put them all on my sentiment layer. I might put 2 of them there and then 1 up here by this heart. Yep, I think that's what I'm going to do. And so now my card is complete, except for an envelope, of course. A lot of times I'll make an envelope. I'll just take a piece of the Designer Series paper and make an envelope flap. And you can cut your papers to, 2.5 by 6 for our regular envelopes. And then it's just perfect. It's a perfect size. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? And maybe I don't need to now. I had this tiny piece of our linen ribbon. And I had done this card for a swap, so I've done a lot of them. And on the other ones that I made, I tucked this piece of ribbon underneath, and I might run into a dimensional, we'll see. Underneath, and of course I'm working with a stupid Band-Aid. You know, in the wintertime when your skin cracks, that's what I'm dealing with right now. Ooh, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I tuck the ribbon in there or no? So in the comments, please comment with ribbon or no ribbon. And then we will maybe change this and add the ribbon. So you guys let me know what you want me to do. Ribbon or no ribbon. And while you're doing that, I am going to get the stuff for my next project ready. Okay. Oh my gosh. It's like an overwhelming majority is telling me to put the ribbon on there. So I'll do it. Okay. Since I've already got the whole thing together, this is what I'm going to do to get this in here. I'm going to use mini glue dots. So the first glue dots, I am going to maybe use my Take Your Pick tool to get it off here. And where's a glue dot? Right there. I'm going to put the glue dot in between the 2 layers of ribbon to keep them together. Okay, that looks good. Then I'm going to add, and maybe I can just press it on there. We'll see. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to press that into the glue dot here. There we go. And I'm going to try to guide it underneath. No, I'm not going to be able to do that. I was going to try to use my take your pick tool hooked onto the glue, but that's not going to work. So I am just going to kind of manipulate this little guy, kind of pushing it and prodding it to go where I want it to go. And then I'm going to press down, and there it is. Ooh, I just saw somebody's watching from Wyoming. Well, Paula Newman, thank you so much for joining us. Paula, where are you from in Wyoming? I am in Sheridan, Wyoming. All right, you guys, you made that card even better, so thank you for your input. Okay, perfect. All right, next project. Let's see. So we're going to be using the Rainbow Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper. This is a free item that you can get from during celebration with a $50 order. Of course, my online store link is in the description of this video. If you are so inclined to shop with me, I would greatly appreciate it. My host code is always down there, and I do offer free gifts with purchase. So that would be awesome. Has Pam said where she's, or Paula said where she's from yet? Not yet. I'm always curious to see when people are in Wyoming. I guess I always feel like I live in the sticks, you know, the population of Wyoming, the entire state of Wyoming is probably less than 500,000. That's the entire state. A lot of you probably live in a city that has millions of people. So we're very rural here. But I get to reach out to all you people doing this, so it makes me very happy. Okay, we're using the paper. Yay. Let me put that back in my bucket here. All right, so I've got a layer or a piece of thick basic white, which is what I like to use when I am making a card, and I'm using white or vanilla. I use basic white or basic vanilla, or no, very vanilla or basic white. Thick is what I'm trying to say, because thick is a very nice card base. It doesn't buckle. It just stands up, and it's awesome. Okay. We do have an envelope already done. So this one was a 2.5 by 6 piece of that paper, and I just covered the flap. There it is. Okay. And then we also have a layer of white. This is 3 3/4 by 5, and that is going to go onto a piece of Misty Moonlight that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I also have multiple strips from the Designer Series paper package. They're all 1/2 inch, and they're all really cute. So I have, and I've taken like the opposite sides, like a lot of the patterns, you have like something very bold and colorful. Did you find out where the person got this? Yes, Kelly, my friend Kathy got them off Shutterfly. She said she went to Shutterfly. They have a little spot that says Post-its, and you can customize your Post-its there. So good question. I did mention that, I think, last week, though. So anyways, a lot of these have the bold, bright, you know, multiple color patterns. But then on the back sides of them is just, you know, like a little bit less, I guess, crazy. Not that they're crazy, but for lack of a better word. And so I'm going to use these. I'm going to put them in a specific order. So my order is going to be the Bermuda Bay stripes, and then the little Flirty Flamingo chevrons. And then I have the Misty Moonlight plus signs, the Mango Melody Suns, and then these little tiny, what is this color? Granny Apple Green stripes. And it looks like I didn't cut my paper very well, but it's going to be fine. So I'm going to bring in one of my little grid sheets here. This is the paper that we sell for our Stamparatus, but in addition to using it for my Stamparatus, I love using it just for my regular stamping because it's a perfect size. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space on my work surface. I love that it has grids. I love that it has a ruler. And so it's a very important tool in my arsenal. So if you guys are looking for a fun little pad of paper, you can find this in the catalog. So what I'm going to do, how I'm going to line up my strips is I'm going to put my piece of cardstock on here. I'm going to put a tiny little piece of seal adhesive. Then I'm going to put a couple of fingers on it because I don't want it to be super sticky that it won't come off. But then I'm going to add it on the grid here. So I've got it centered in between all the grids. And now I can easily put my papers on because I'm going to use the grid lines to help me. What do I want to do? I think I'll just do this. I'm going to use my seal, and I'm just going to run down the length of the strip. Now these strips are 6 inches. Obviously my piece of paper is not 6 inches. So I'm going to have some excess. But I'm going to start down here at the bottom, and I'm using my grid. You can see that I used my grid on that side, and then I'm going to line this up at the same spot. Oh my, I touched down before I was ready. At the same spot on the other side. Don't do this to me right now. Okay, we're going to start again. And we're going to go a little slower this time. Okay, there we go. Run it across to that same spot on the other side. All right, so now we're going to bring in our pink chevrons, and you can see that the pink is the back side of the Bermuda Bay stripes. And now I should be able just to butt these together for the most part, but we'll see. I think I might be off just a tiny bit here with my Bermuda Bay, so I might be able to lift this up, and I could use my heat tool to assist me, but I'm going to hope that I can get this up without, and then just reposition that. So there, that's a little better. Okay, then we're going to use the Misty Moonlight plus signs here. Let's see here. Star Valley. Oh, Star Valley. Paula's in Star Valley. That's very cool. I think Star Valley is beautiful, isn't it, Paula, if I'm not mistaken? Okay, so we'll just continue our little quest to build this up. There we go. And then the mango sun. Okay. And do that. There we go. And then finally the granny apple green. All right. And so that is a good way to, if you want to do a card like this, to help line up your strips. It should be pretty close to even. It might be a bit off. I mean, I'm not perfect. And then, of course, I've got adhesive at this end, but I'm going to trim all this off. So I'm just going to bring my snips in here, trim off all those pieces, come over here and trim off these. There we go. And there's what we have. So hopefully that is pretty well centered. That's got adhesive on it, and I don't have any fingernails. There we go. Okay. So then I'm going to add this to the layer of Misty Moonlight. So we'll just add our adhesive on the back here. There we go. Oh, let's see. We've got somebody offering some tips, so thank you very much. Okay, and I'm going to add this. I'm going to have a very slight border around the edge here. There we go. And that is what we're going to end up putting onto this layer here. So now for the fun. So what I'm going to do is I've got a kind of a scrap of white here. I think it's, well, I'll tell you what I cut it to, just in case you want to copy it the same. I cut it to 3 1/4 by 5. It doesn't need to be quite that long, but that's just the strip that I had. So I'm going to bring in my cloud punch, and I'm going to put it from the bottom all the way in, and I'm going to punch out a cloud. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and my layering circles dies, and I'm using what I call die number 7. So I have my dies separated. These straight circles, that's what I call them, are on one side of the package, and then my scallop circles are on the other side. And then all of my dies are numbered, starting from the smallest one in the middle, and it's number 1, and it goes up to the biggest one, which is number 8. Okay, so this is number 7, and we're going to use that to cut this up. So I'm going to put this on. I'm going to center my cloud in the circle. Where are my plates? Here we go. So I've got plate number 1, looking at the description. Plate number 1 tells me to use with a thin die, which is what I have, that I need plate number 1. I have that. Then plate number 2, we're good. Put my paper and my die on, and then we're going to cover it with another plate number 2. And then we're going to run this through, and we're going to have this cute little cloud right in the middle of our paper. Now, here is a tip for using this mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. When you're putting your plates together, don't have them all together at the end. So you can see I've got them staggered so that when I go to put them into the machine, having them staggered will help the rollers grip everything better rather than trying to put the whole thing in at once. We're going to do, whoops, I think I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm going to put this one over. There we go. So that's what I've got. Okay, so I've got my white plate. This plate's a little farther down. Whoops, and then I've got that one. We're going to try that. And that should help. There we go. That'll help my machine grab it and crank it on through. And then we will have, ta-da! We have our little circle with our cloud in it. And that is going to be super fun. Okay, let me put this aside. We don't need that anymore. I'm going to bring my card back in. And then I'm going to add this just like this. Isn't that adorable? But I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals so that it almost can kind of be almost like a, I mean, it could be a shaker card if I had shaker bits that I wanted to stick in here. I could work that out, but I don't. That's not what I'm making. So I'm just going to add a bunch of mini dimensionals here. Someone said, I've heard if you use the gray plate instead of the white, then the staggering isn't necessary. You know what, Heather? I don't know. I've never tried that. The gray plate is supposed to be used for embossing. So yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't done it. I feel like the gray plate is, it's either thicker than the cutting plate or it's thinner. So I'm not exactly sure if it's going to cut that well if you try to use it. So I don't know. I haven't done it. I guess we'll have to take your word for it. Okay, so I am trying to center this. Sometimes that's a bit of a struggle. There we go. And then we can add this to our card base. Whoops, I should always remember, just do it the way it's supposed to go. And sometimes I try to cheat and then it doesn't work so good. Okay. All right, we are centering this as best we can with our old person eyeballs. And then, oh, I do need to put a little sentiment on here. And I have the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set. That is obviously a coordinating stamp set to the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper. So if you purchase the Rainbow of Happiness bundle, which is the stamp set and the rainbow dies, you could get the paper for free. So just in case you didn't know that. All right, so I have taken the You Make Me Happy stamp out of this kit, out of this stamp set, and I'm going to ink it up in Misty Moonlight. So here we go. We are tapping here. And I am going to stamp this down here at the bottom. Yay, that worked out really well. Okay, we got a couple more things we need to do to this just because it's cute just the way it is, but I wanted to jazz it up just a little bit. So we happen to have in the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack, we have 3 different ribbons here. We have a baker's twine that is white, Misty Moonlight, and silver, which is what we're going to use. It also comes with this really nice white ribbon that you can dye different colors if you so desire. And then we have this really cute Just Jade checked ribbon. It's a collection, so there's 3 of them in the package. And yeah, it's another really fun thing we got here. So I'm going to tie a little bow. So I'm just going to make a loop, wrap it, pull it through, make a bow. I don't want it to be huge, so I'm going to trim that off, and then I'm going to decide how big I want it. And I'm going to just kind of set it right there on the cloud. But like I said, it's too big right now, so we are making it a bit smaller. So I'm just pulling on the tails, and then to make it tight, I'm going to tug on the loops. This one got a little bit big. All right, let me lay that down and take an eyeball look at it. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to use a glue dot. So I'm going to roll this into a tube. I'm going to take my non-existent fingernail, and I'm just kind of gently rolling my glue dot so that it ends up to be in a tiny little tube. I don't even think you can see that, but it works. And because things like this are so small, a rolled up tube glue dot works perfect. Okay, and then I'm just going to add that right here on my little cloud. And then I'm going to snip off the excess here. I think now maybe a tiny bit more. That seems a bit long. How's that? That's pretty cute. And then for my last trick, I'm going to bring in a rhinestone because, you know, rhinestones are amazing. I'm going to bring back my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to use one of the larger rhinestones, and I'm going to set it right in there. And so that is my card. It is now finished. What do you guys think? I thought it was pretty darn cute when I made it. I also made this for a swap last month when Dina and Kelly were here. I was working on those while we were stamping one night. And then I have here is an envelope that's already done that could work for that. So yes, super cute. Thanks, you guys. I thought it was really cute. And you could do that with a lot of other things. Like you could do it for Christmas. We have a tree punch that you could do the same kind of thing with. Put Christmas paper back there. We could even do it with the Valentines. We've got a heart punch. We could put Valentine strips of paper on there and then use the heart punch. So I think you could do a lot of different, you could use it for a lot of different occasions, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's a super easy layout, nothing very difficult to it. So yeah, thanks you guys. I appreciate that. Okay, let us move on now to our next card. Off my bits and grab my other bucket. This is the card that I was working on earlier today that I wasn't quite sure about. I'm still not completely sold on it, but I'll let you guys decide. I really wanted to use the Simply Marvelous Designer Series paper. This is another option that you can get with your celebration order. So if you order $50, this is one of the items that you can choose for free. And I haven't done anything with it yet, and it's been here kind of calling my name over the past few days. And so I thought, I'm going to do something with this today. And I really have kind of been on a purple kick. We have the beautiful gorgeous grape and the Highland heather, and I've just kind of been on a little bit of a purple kick. And so I wanted to use this, but I had to come up with something that goes with purple. Now, not everything goes with purple, as I'm sure you're aware. So you're going to laugh. Okay, this is what I came up with. So here we go. So I also wanted to incorporate the Supple Shimmer specialty paper. This is in the catalog, the holiday, or not the holiday, the mini catalog. You get 2 sheets. They're 12 by 12. These are just cut to 6 by 6, but you get a 12 by 12 of this gorgeous pink and a 12 by 12 of this. This is really fun. In some angles, it's kind of greenish, and some it's kind of very light blue, but it's really, really pretty. And in fact, let me show you a card I did with that. If I can find it, here it is. I made this cute card using those rainbow dies, and I cut some clouds out of this paper. And look, that they just really add a really cool thing, I think, to this card. Without the clouds, it's cute, but I think the clouds really give it a good something. I'm trying to come up with my words, and words are hard right now. So anyways, I wanted to use that also. So my color combination that I came up with is Bermuda Bay, Gorgeous Grape, and Polished Pink. So something really bright, really springy to kind of make me feel a little more springy than I'm going to be feeling tomorrow when the wind's blowing 45 miles an hour. Okay, I also wanted to use my favorite bundle because, as I just told you, the Artfully Layered bundle is like my favorite thing right now. I cannot get enough of it. Every time I go to make a card, I want to use this. And so we're going to use it today with Gorgeous Grape, Polished Pink, and Bermuda Bay. I also brought in the Slim Card dies. Now there's 4 dies in here, and these are for, like I told you, we have an online class this month that uses this bundle. And these are really long, so they can do those super long cards. And I decided that I wanted to put a fun border on the card that I'm going to make for you today. So I did do both of the borders. Here they both are. And I originally was going to do this one. So I'm going to start out with this one. If for some reason I mess it up and I stamp it screwy, then I'll switch to the other one because I think they'll both work just fine. All right, so we're going to use those also. Then here's my purple paper, my purple marbles paper. I've got my gorgeous grape ink here, and my favorite stamp in the set is this fun tropical leaf. So I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it. Well, I've already done it, but I'll show you. I'm going to stamp it a few times on this paper. I actually did it 3 times, but I'm only going to be able to get 2 out of this now, which is fine. Let's try this, because you don't always need the stems on this particular stamp because you're tucking them under things, and so you don't always need the stems. So there you go. So then I would have taken those to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I did that already, and here are my 3 leaves. You can see I kind of cut the edges, the bottoms of these 2 leaves up. Like I said, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, so I've got those leaves done. Then I took the palm frond out of the die set, and I cut myself a pink palm frond. So you're probably never going to see a pink palm frond, and you're never going to see a gorgeous grape leaf. I'm not sure what kind of leaf this is, but you're probably not going to see one. But I don't care, because I just really wanted to use these. I really wanted to do this. So I did cut this up the middle. So I now have 2 halves of a palm frond. Scoot those over. I also have a 3/4 inch strip of Bermuda Bay ink, and I'm going to use the Happy Birthday sentiment that comes in the Artfully Layered stamp set. So I'm going to ink that up in Bermuda Bay ink, and I'm going to stamp it on my Bermuda Bay strip here. So let's get this on here, hopefully straight. That's pretty good. All right, so I'm going to end up cutting off, flagging the end or something on this. I'm just not sure yet. All right. So I'm also going to bring in this little guy here, and I'm going to do a little bit of random stamping on one of these white layers, but not quite yet. So the card is actually very simple to put together. Like I said, this is the layer that I was going to choose. So I thought, okay, let's just throw our leaves on here. Just kind of randomly throw them up the middle. Kind of like that was my thought process there. And then my beautiful palm frond half. I thought I could just tuck that right under. How pretty is that? And then this one, I don't know if I can get this under or not. I might be able to. I might have to like cut it off, but I think I can shove it over here. So then we have some gorgeous palm fronds. Then I thought, well, let's add some blue. So I decided to use this little leaf guy here, and I'm going to stamp a few leaves on this layer in the Bermuda Bay, which is right here. But I need to mask this off first because I don't want the entire thing. I only want a couple of them. So I decided to use, I think it was these 2 leaves up here at the top. And so I'm going to put a piece of Scotch tape on here. You could use a Post-it note. Scotch tape works pretty good for me. And I'm going to put another piece on here to cover up that little guy. So you can see I've only got those leaves showing. So I'm now going to ink them up. And then the most important part of masking is you must remove the tape. And then I'm going to stamp them. I'm going to kind of move my leaf over and stamp them on a few places on this. So now I can take my tape and put it back on. I'm trying to be careful not to get it on my fingers. So, you know, this can be a bit messy. You can always, you know, use different tape instead of the same pieces of tape. So now we're going to kind of move this out of the way and stamp that there. And we'll pull everything kind of back in where we had it somewhat. And then I'm going to stamp a couple down here. So I'm going to add my tape again. There we go. Ink those up. Remove the tape. And then we're going to stamp them down here at the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to throw this in the trash because I don't need it hanging around me, making any sort of a mess. All right, so we can put the lid on this. Okay, so now all I have to do is just kind of throw everything together. So I'm going to move everything off, and I'm going to start again. And I think I'm going to put these on with dimensionals. I think that might be kind of fun. So I am just going to put dimensionals in the middle of these, right up the center, 2 of them. That way to tuck in my palm fronds. Hopefully my dimensionals won't get in my way. Okay. And I think we'll start with this one down here at the bottom. And I'm just going to kind of finagle it on there so that it doesn't cover up my little Bermuda Bay leaves that I just put on there. And then we're going to add, I think we need to use this one with the long tail. Oh no, hold on. I have somebody that needs to go. Hold on. Remove. Hide user. Okay. All right. I don't know what that was, but that person's gone. So goodbye, whatever your name was. All right. So then I think I need to trim this off because it's going to not. Snowy Mom says, I would never have thought of this color combination. You know what? Me neither. I just really wanted to use this purple. So I racked my brain and did a little searching on Pinterest to see what did people use? What are people doing? And I didn't find this exact combination, but I found something else that was similar, but I knew that this would work also. So I am now going to trim off the excess down here. There we go. Okay, and now we need to put our palm fronds on. So again, we may need to do some, oh no, that looks like that's going to work good. Okay, so I'm going to use liquid glue, but I want my fronds to kind of be a little bit flowy. So I am going to, oh my gosh, I have 170 people watching me. That's amazing. Thank you guys so much for sharing this with your friends and giving it a thumbs up and subscribing and liking. All that stuff helps YouTube push my video out to the masses. And I mean, really, the beauty tip that I shared with you guys at the beginning is just worth, worth a lot. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to have to go back and watch the beginning of the movie and beginning of the show, and I share a very good tip for you if you have gray hair and want to cover it up. Okay, so let's tuck our palm frond underneath here. I don't want to totally cover up my Bermuda Bay leaves, but I think that's fine. They can kind of poke through a little bit. All right, and then this little guy, I think I'm going to need to cut some of it off because I don't think it's there. I kind of think that would probably work. So here we go again, adding just a little bit of glue down here at the bottom and just enough of that palm frond. Okay, then there's also this little die in this stamp set or die set that cuts out little tiny leaves, and I did run that through on a little scrap of this paper, and so I now have 7 little tiny pink leaves that I can put on here somewhere if I want. And of course I do, because why wouldn't you? I almost think I might need another little leaf right here. What do you guys think? I'm going to clean this off and see if I can do that without making a mess. We're going to try. We're going to see what happens here. We're going to mask this off again. I only want the 1 leaf this time. Okay. And we'll see if I can do it without ruining the whole thing. All right, we've got it inked up. I'm going to try to stick it right in between these 2 palm fronds. It worked. Yay. Okay. Let me put this in the trash. And then I want to add a few of these little guys. Now I don't know where I want them. I didn't finish the card. Okay. I just decided what colors I wanted to use. And then I thought, okay, we're just going to kind of wing it here at the end, and we'll just kind of add some of these. I don't know how many I'm going to add. Yeah, who knows? I just kind of thought, ooh, maybe we could put 2 over here. How would that look if we did something like this? This Band-Aid is becoming a problem because every time I touch stuff, it snags onto the Band-Aid. How about that? And then maybe 1 more down here. All right, I think that's what we're going to do, you guys. So I'm just going to kind of move them gently out of the way and add a little dot of glue. And then we'll stick these back with our Take Your Pick tool, which is another one of my favorite tools. That and the chamois are amazing. Okay, so here we go. Adding that. And then we'll add this little guy here. That one there. That. And that. Isn't that cute? I mean, it's a very, I don't know, it's kind of an odd card. That's what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. I was like, well, it's a little bit odd. I don't, but I think it's working out. So let's add our adhesive to get it onto the card base. And then we'll add our sentiment strip. We'll fix that up. Okay. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Very interesting, isn't it? All right, so now I'm just going to kind of snip off some of this to get that edge nice and straight. And then I thought I would just come in at a bit of an angle, just like that. And then add that right here. Actually, I think I might bring it down just a touch because I don't want to cover up all of my palm frond. Yep, that's what I'm going to do with it. So I'm going to put a dimensional on this end, and then I'm going to put just regular adhesive right there. Because if I put a dimensional, if I put dimensionals on the whole thing, it's going to be too high. But my leaves already have dimensionals on them, so that end of my strip does not need to be popped up. Okay. There it is. How fun was that? That was kind of a different card. But I do really like this edge. This is a fun edge that you get in those Slimline dies. And the color combination is just, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it a lot. So yeah, okay. Let me bring in the other cards that we made today so you guys can see them all. And I will just say again, if you are looking for a demonstrator to order from, I would love to have your business at shoppingwithbarb.com. The link is in the description of this video. And I do offer gifts with purchase. And yeah, check out everything I have down there. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'm checking really quickly with the comments. I just want to make sure that nobody has asked me anything that I needed to answer that I did not. I don't think so. You guys are just all being very sweet in sharing the video and giving me thumbs ups. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel down here in the corner if you're not a subscriber. I do go live every Thursday night at 5 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you click that little notification bell, then when I go live, YouTube should notify you that I'm live so you won't miss out. So yeah, thank you guys again. I appreciate all of you very much. Thank you for watching me. That's really awesome. And thank you for all the very kind comments. And I will see you again next week, guys. Bye-bye.